R&B. We're here to talk about the 96 water improvement extension, basically from Mills Road to Brewer Road. It's approximately 4,800 feet. The main size will be 10-inch. It will be SDR PVC plastic material, plastic pipe. And as I mentioned, that's going to go from Mills Road to Brewer Road, and the main will be placed on the south side of the road. This is an overall map of the improvement area. All this is hatched in here. We butt up against the existing improvement district that we just finished this past year. And this includes all these properties right up to Brewer Road along the frontage here. So that's the water improvement area proposed. So we looked at a couple of options if a contractor did this work or municipal forces did this work. There's differences between a contractor and municipal forces doing the work. For instance, materials, you get overhead and profit based on the contractor's markup. With municipal forces, you buy direct, you bid it directly, and you don't have any markup there. Labor is prevailing wage for a contractor to do it. Municipal forces, they don't have to pay prevailing wage. Bonds are required, and insurance is required for the contractor. Bonds are not required for the town if they install it themselves. Insurance would be the standard town policy. A detailed design would be required for a contractor to make sure you get the materials that you are looking for as far as the value, where for design for town municipal forces, basically it's where you design it to get health department approval, but the town will install it, and obviously the town's going to be very careful how they install it and make that so they don't have to do maintenance later on. Bidding is required for a contractor, and quotes only for materials for municipal forces, and observation would be testing only for municipal forces full-time for a contractor. So we looked at the construction costs. Estimated construction cost for a contractor to do it is $253,000. That would be an annual debt charge of $12,787, almost $13,000 for a debt charge at a 4% rate for 40 years. That includes construction contingency as well as incidental costs. So contingency would be you build in money for extras or unforeseen conditions, and then the legal administration and engineering fees would also apply. If we did it with labor forces at the town, you almost save about $50,000. We're down to $200,000, and a debt charge of $10,001, basically $3,000 there, at the same 4% of 40 years. Includes contingency as well, and legal administration. It also includes there's some directional drilling work on this job that will also be done by a contractor for this work. So commodity charge. Commodity charge is basically based on the water usage, operation, maintenance, and water usage is built into the rate. Based on 50,000 gallons per year per average typical household resident. That would be $307 a year. That's based on the minimum charge and the usage of the 50,000 gallons. What's an EDU? An EDU is equivalent to dwelling unit. Basically, it's one household that uses 50,000 gallons of water per year. So that one household, typical house would use 50,000 gallons of water a year. A two-family home might use 100,000 gallons. So basically, we break this down to equivalent dwelling unit EDUs. A developed property would be assigned one EDU. A commercial industrial operation could be charged one EDU or more. And then basically increasing EDUs reduces individual costs. So basically the more residents we have in this water improvement area, the less cost it will be for each individual user.
If anybody has any questions, as he goes on, don't forget to raise your hand so we can explain it.
Yes.
So
I'm going too
somewhere
fast,
down the road, well, not, but maybe.
Yes.
So that's what.
And we'll open it up. If you see something that you have a question on as we go through, just let me know, or we can discuss all the questions at the end as well. So this is how we broke it down EDUs. We have single family homes. We have 21 in that previous slide I showed you that showed the water improvement area. We have 21 single family homes. We have one church in that district. Again, we're working from Mills Road to Brewer Road. We have a commercial operation building that's 1.5 EDUs. We have one of those. And then vacant properties are charged 0.25 EDUs. So each vacant property will be charged a quarter EDU. And that would be, so that's 0.75, that adds up to 24.25 EDUs. Now, agricultural properties that have an ag exemption are not, there's no charge for those properties. So if you have an ag exemption in the district, there's not a charge for that. I think there's only one or two that have the ag exemption in this improvement area. So this is what these are the numbers we talked about before. $253,000. The anticipated debt is around $13,000. If we were to construct this with a contractor, we'd be looking at an EDU cost of $528 per year per EDU, plus the commodity charge gives us a total anticipated cost of $834. That's if the contractor did that work. Construction by municipal forces, obviously we talked about that drops that cost $50,000. Now the EDU cost, based on the same number of EDUs, 24.25, as we demonstrated on the previous slide, is $417. The commodity charge stays the same at 50,000 gallons of water a year. The cost difference, if we have a contractor do it compared to municipal forces, is just over $110. We're looking at about $111 per EDU. That's based on that estimate. Now, if the bids come in better, it would be less. If they come in higher, that would be a slight change. But we should have enough in there as far as contingency and so forth to cover that. But talking with Gary and the town board, we said, okay, let's do a cost share between the water improvement area we did before, which included Reed Road, Kings Road, Hecker Road, and 96 from basically Center Street to Mills Road. So that's, in that district there were 138 EDUs. We said, okay, now the EDUs that we talked about on 96 are 24.25 EDUs. And the town is also planning to do the Hecker Road extension this summer or this spring. It gives us another 6.25 EDUs, gives us a total of 168.5 EDUs. Now the actual bond cost that the town bonded for the previous water improvement area is $915,000. The debt charge for that is $37,875 per year, which includes principal and interest, and that's at 2.5% for 38 years. That's through road development. So we got a much better rate through road development than we would on the open market at 4% that I was calculating and demonstrating before. Well, the town also said, well, let's use community benefit money for this area. So basically, the cost for this section of 96 is not a cost, but it's going to be shared with the cost of the debt from the previous district. So if we take 168.5 EDUs, combine it with the water improvement area we just completed, plus this area on Route 96 from Mills Road to Brewer Road, now your EDU cost, the bond divided by that amount, is $225. So your debt charge went from $417, even if the contractor installed it, to basically $225. Yeah, your commodity charge to it, $307. You can expect, a typical user can expect to pay $530 a year, $531 a year for water and the debt service. Basically, by combining these two improvement areas into one and taking all the EDUs combined, gives us 168.5, brings that cost right down. As I said, the users, the more number of users you have, the better the cost and the lower the cost is on the EDUs. So what's the next step? Well, we would update the map plan report to reflect what we have, what we're proposing here at 168 EDUs. Secret action has already been completed for 96 district. That was done last year, so that's complete. We would need, we would have a public hearing at that point for the 96 extension, and the town board would take action for the improvement area. And then we would form that improvement area, and then we would do a consolidation between the two districts. So basically, it's a legal matter that we would take the water improvement area that we completed already, the improvements we did for Route 96, combine those two, consolidate them, and that's where we come up with a cost of 225 with 168 EDUs combined. So basically, we're using a $915,000 bond that the town has. Instead of taking just the 138, we're taking basically that, increasing those, consolidating that to 168 EDUs at one time. Questions? Yes.
You said it's a .25 for an undeveloped lot,
0.25, yes.
whatever if it gets developed.
Then it would, let's say it's an undeveloped lot and someone wants to build a home on it,
Yeah.
then it would go to the 1 EDU.
And
It's
then-
assessed each year at March, when the assessor does their tax rolls, or December, or January. When they do their tax rolls, it would be, the district would be evaluated every year. So let's say, you know, someone has some vacant property there and they want to put 10 homes in. Well, now each home would be 1 EDU, so that can change.
So does that affect what everybody else is paying?
Yes, it would. It would basically, more EDUs
Lower.
you have, it would bring that cost further down.
Yes.
What was the Mills Road paying last time, Mills Reed Road paying EDU?
They were paying,
Remember what that was?
I think it was 700 and, with water and everything, I think it was 750. I can't remember for sure, but
That's dropping quite a bit.
Yes, it
That's
is.
dropping quite a bit,
Yeah.
yes. The more we use. I think that's the purpose of it, we're dropping.
Yes. Basically, it drops the EDU cost for the existing improvement area we already completed, and also brings, 96 is also paying debt service as well, but it shares the cost between the
So
two.
it brings them both down.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
We might as well explain why the board is doing this. We did our original project, which was supposed to be, a lot of it was supposed to be a grant money back 7, 8 years ago. And the rural development promised us money, then they found out they didn't have enough money as they promised, so we didn't get it. So what happened after that, we reduced the size down to where it was Reed Road, Hector Road, 96 to Mills Road, and Mills Road. So that, we started that project, and we're going to use $500,000 from community development, community benefits money. But the state says we couldn't use that. So what we did is, we went ahead with the project. It ended up costing almost $1.4 million. But we got a grant from rural development for almost $500,000, which made our bond $915,000. Now this is a project that was going on for 7 years. We didn't want to do anything to stop that. So what we're doing now is we're using community benefits money, so that the cost we do now will be basically zero. But if that $915,000 wasn't spent initially, we wouldn't be having this project at all. This conversation would not happen. So what we're doing is we're spreading the cost of the project out. But everybody that comes on, our goal is every year we're going to add a road. Now next year we'll probably finish Brewer Road. The year after that we'll finish Hector Road. Then we'll go to Edwards Road, and you know. So and every time we go along, more EDUs will be added. So by the time you get all done,
Mark.
that's the deal. So this is a one-shot deal. So we're offering it, and believe it or not, if we actually think it's going to happen this year. So if anybody has any questions or has any concerns, let us know and try to help you out. Yes, sir.
You think the state will say you can't use a tune?
No, we're not going through the state. We don't have to go through the state.
I have something to say. I live over on Town Line Road.
Yeah, okay, we know who you are. You're
Yeah.
next year. You're serving road project. You're complete. You're coming from the
Right, but
west.
we were told that we were next in line, and now all of a sudden Mills Road has popped up. And
Well, this serving road is something that's taken, that's a four-town thing. It's taken longer to do it. If serving road in the town of Phelps, and the town of Junius, and the town of Geneva was ready to go, we would have looked into it. But they're not ready to go.
So you're starting on another project on the other people who are still waiting and have been
That's
waiting
correct.
for over
That's
60
correct.
years.
That's correct.
Okay.
nothing I can do on that. There's 3 other towns involved, so.
It is moving forward.
It's moving forward, and that's our next year's project, but, you know, que sera, I mean, we promised everybody everything, and, you know, this one here, we're hoping to do these, we got the Brewer Road to Reed Road we want to do as part of this project. And we want to do Mills Road, 96 Mills Road to Brewer Road.
And this won't really delay that project.
No,
No,
the Servant Road project,
We're not delaying your project, but
They're running concurrently.
yeah, they're running concurrently, so.
This is just, this is a smaller section, and as Gary said, the 4 towns, but we are getting into where we're gonna start doing topography, getting information, and that design will start occurring.
And also, this is our first attempt putting in Waterloo too, so so we're very confident that the crew is capable of doing it. We're hiring an outside consultant. We're using the HDP pipe, which is the welded pipe and not the suction type, so it's a whole new ball game for us. So we're excited, and we're hoping that everybody will be happy when we're done. But time will tell. Anybody else?
So are you saying that how far, you're picking up where you left off on 96 and going farther?
Right, going to Brewer Road.
Okay. Now, the plan that you've already put in place in Reed Road, have they gotten a bill yet?
Yep. Last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
Okay, because I know that they were
Well,
complaining
what
that
the
they...
problem is, you know, like everything else, we went with the most modern thing, which is wireless remote reads.
They're cellular reads.
Yeah, so, whatever. Yeah, IT terminology. But the program that we got from Badger wouldn't match up with the program we had for billing. So Badger and Williamson Law Book had to get together to work out the bugs, which I guess has been worked out.
That's what they say. It's been quite a cluster, but we're not the only
You only
group
use
that has
one word,
gone
but it
through
was
this.
a cluster.
Yeah.
Badger.
So I just wondered how many months it was going to take before the rest of the system got on board.
Oh, no,
And then you get hit with a large water bill.
Yeah, we understand that, so, and we're hoping that people understand. It's a whole new ball game, I mean, so, but hopefully with the new cellular system, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the corner of 96 and Brewer Road. Am I included in the 96
Yes, ma'am.
district?
Yes.
Now, which corner are you on?
The west corner.
Southwest.
Southwest.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we'll probably cross the road, right?
Crossing Brewer Road?
We're not so far near the house.
Pardon?
You're not the vacant land, right?
No.
You'll be, yeah, all you gotta do is bore under the road. Every house on one side of the road's got a bore under the road there, kids, and I think we put a shut off in there.
This one, and I have the plans that, if you want to see more detail, I have the actual plans, but yes, these properties at the corner, on the northeast corner and the southeast corner are both included.
So the southwest.
They're on the west.
The west side,
Yeah.
Southwest.
right here?
Yep.
There's 2 houses, I believe.
Yeah.
There's
We
2
can
properties.
make it
I believe
fit.
there.
You'll be an official EDU when we're done, if you want to be. Otherwise, you have to wait for the next term.
So that'll change the cost again.
Yeah, if we want to change it, it'll go down right up.
Yep.
So the more we get in, the less cost it's going to be. So I say, if we could have done something on the first batch, it would have been a lot cheaper, but we went so long, we didn't want to throw a monkey wrench into it and stop the project again. So we went with it, but as I said, that we didn't bank it at 9:15, we wouldn't be doing any of this because the water line wouldn't have been. So, but we're using what they call landfill money to do this. Gotta use it for something.
What
Yes.
does it cost to bore under the road?
We're gonna bore under the road, or how's that work?
For services, are you talking about services?
Yeah, so the water line's going to go up on the south side of the road, right?
Right.
Continue.
So on the north side, we put a directional bore underneath and give you a way shut off on the north side of the road. So you'll have a shut off. So
That's including your cost, so basically from, if you're on the north side of the road, we bring the water main on the south side, obviously you gotta get under the road to get to you. That's part of that $253,000 or $200,000 that we talked about, depending on who does the work, that's included in that to the right-of-way. From the right-of-way to your house is each individual homeowner's responsibility. But we will give every EDU in this district a service that they can connect to.
So I don't have to pay to get it bored under the road. The water line comes up on my side of the road, and then I hook onto it. It's not like, I heard somebody said that they had to pay like $8 grand to get it bored under the road for their water line. I didn't know if the guy on this side of the road.
Will that all be part of it?
It's part of the project, yes.
Okay.
Now, if you're gonna pay the debt regardless if you take the water or not, so just wanna give you a little heads up there.
I didn't know if the guy on the
But you know, like the first year, 2 years, we'll give you a free tie, and after that, cost of poker goes up.
Now,
Because- So then you have to pay for the additional cost of hooking.
if your house is further than 250 feet away, though, then it requires a meter pit, and that is not included in that. 150?
Yeah.
So that would be something added, so if you're further than 250 feet away, a meter pit's got to be put in the right of way, so that would be.
I mean, think of a couple houses in that area that are fit into that category.
And
Anyway,
so what does a meter pit cost?
You said what,
It'll be probably between $600 and $700,
And what's that for?
which we'll provide, because you're so far from the road, in case there's a leak in the future between the road and your house, then we know.
Okay.
To shut
So
off.
that basically that meter will be right at the right of way rather than at your house.
It's where the shut off will be.
No, there'll be a shut off, then the meter pit.
okay, anybody else? Thank you for coming, appreciate it, and whatever we do, we'll have I've got to approve a couple things tonight, and we'll have a public hearing.
We have to schedule a public hearing.
Schedule a public hearing, we're hoping to start
Just
this
out of curiosity,
project
how many
September,
hydrants is it
October.
gonna be?
Yeah. There will be a map plan, before the public hearing, there will be a map plan report that the board will accept. That will be on file at the clerk's office before the public hearing for anyone that wants to review it before the public hearing.
Anybody live here between Hector Road, on Hector Road between Reed and Brewer? You're all 96 residents?
How many hydrants is going to be in there then?
One every 600 feet.
600 feet? Okay.
Why so many hydrants?
Per
Probably
New
the
York
code.
State Department of Health.
We have no control over that. I'm
Unfortunately.
gonna tell you what the state told us, because
Fire lines are only so long.
Yeah, I was on Reed Road. I live on Reed Road as well, and I see we have water. And we did get a bill for the lady that asked. We did get a bill, so. But there's another house on another spot over there in Cuba. So that's why it looked like you skipped over us, so I was wondering about that, but you already answered the question.
yeah, you're still there, big as life, believe me. It's,
So how long before we hear more then?
The board could actually accept the map plan report at the next meeting, which will be the April meeting, and then they can set a public hearing either for the May meeting or before that meeting. So probably I would say May, June, you'll have the district, the improvement area will be formed, and then can start from there.
Just had a senior moment.
So if everything goes okay, how long before you figure the line will be starting to put in?
September.
September, October, yeah.
September 2016. Yeah, I used to hear that September, but they never told me the year.
So how long will the duration of the construction take? Gonna be done by December, or?
Oh, yes, I mean, 4,800 feet, even if town crew or contractor put 500 feet in a day, you're looking at about 2-3 weeks. So you would have, if we started, let's say we started mid-September, by then, by mid-October, end of October, you would have do that water.
Or as I suggest, you go to school, learn how to do landscaping. No, we'll do that. As long as you don't run over when it's muddy, because it leaves a heck of a rut, right? So anyway, so yeah, this is a project we definitely, Joe's got his crews going out there. We got a consultant hired to help us with the, we use an HDP on 96?
Yeah, Pat,
We can use either one,
that was
actually.
my question, why we weren't going to for this.
We could, I mean, we
Could
show
be a big cost
PVC, but
difference.
the pipe, there is a cost difference between the pipe, but that's usually offset by
Other,
labor.
yeah, okay,
So we'll have to work that detail out.
sounds
Wait and
good.
see it, wait and see how we make out. on
Right,
the road.
right, well, Hector Road's our
Wait and see how we
first
make out.
project. So if you see a fire out there, don't be,
It's only pipe burning.
we have to get permission from the DOT, right?
Yes.
We have to get permits, so sometimes that takes a little longer than normal. As far as I know, there's no swamp area or anything, is there?
There's some wetland areas along there, but we're staying away from those.
So hopefully by the first of the year, Pat, it'll be complete.
Anybody else?
Can I pick where the line comes in, like the yard, so I can get them to go a little bit further towards the north or something, and have them come up, so I can come up through the woods instead of right up through the middle of my yard?
Well, we usually try to cooperate wherever the homeowner wants to shut up, we'll put it within reason. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, you can put it put a spot out there where you want it,
Yeah, we'll contact you before that.
Yeah.
We usually go around, we'll hand out stakes and,
That's the kind
you
of
can
pound
stick
in
it
the
in your
ground,
yard
kind of
where
stick.
you know, where you think you want it, and we do our best to get as close to that as we can.
Okay. Anybody else?